Hello and welcome to the Print Soft Cover, our platform dedicated to launching non-fiction books. I'm Sagrika Kissu, and today I'm joined by a man who wears several hats: a producer, an actor, and an author, Anirban Bhattacharya. Welcome to the Print, sir. We will be discussing his latest book, Swipe Right to Kill: The Jaipur Tinder Murder Case, published by Penguin India. As the title suggests, that this gripping account explores how a perfect match led to a perfect murder. In addition to being an author, Bhattacharya is the content creator and producer of the true crime series Savdhan Indian Ish Kills. Welcome to the Print, sir. My first and foremost question to you is that in your first chapter, you discuss how Paritosh, a middle class married man, is introduced to Tinder and changes his name to Raj on the platform. This name change seems to reflect the weight of middle class morality and the comfort of anonymity. Could you elaborate a little on that?
Hi, it's lovely to be here on the Print. Thank you for having me on your show. The anonymity of life on social media is a different world altogether. वहाँ पे हम सोचते हैं कि कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं रहता, कोई अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं होता है, और हम सोशल मीडिया के जो एक दीवार होता है, we can hide behind it and pretend to be someone else. Just like if you know how trolls are, when you comment on something, trolls are immediately there, but you never know who they are in real life, क्योंकि वो बहुत ही cleverly वो अपने आप को छुपा के रहता है. तो वैसे ही सोशल मीडिया में जैसे डेटिंग साइट्स है और sites like Facebook and all of that, it's very easy for people to change their name and identity and project themselves to be somebody else. और जैसे डेटिंग साइट्स में तो अक्सर ये होता ही है कि हम देखते रहते हैं, क्योंकि मैं सावधान इंडिया क्रिएट कर चुका हूँ और प्रोड्यूस करता था, तो हजारों केसेस ऐसे हमने देखे हैं जहाँ पे सोशल मीडिया पे अ पर्सन प्रिटेंड्स टू बी समबडी एल्स. एकदम गरीब होता है लेकिन बोलते खुद को कि बिलियनर है, या एकदम ऑर्डिनरी लुकिंग होता है लेकिन किसी और हैंडसम बंदे का फोटो इस्तेमाल करते हैं डीपी पे और लड़की जो है पड़ जाती है. तो ऐसा होता है, and so it's become a little bit of a tricky situation now. How do you trust what you see on social media? तो वैसे ही स्टोरी में जो है हमारे कैरेक्टर्स जो है वो कुछ ऐसे ही काम करते हैं.
Coming to your characters, in your book you write about the main character and accused, Pooja. She is an ambitious woman, desires a lavish lifestyle, and becomes involved in the quick, easy money world of escorting, right? And she scams several men on go, threatening them to file fake rape cases, and she also gets caught several times. How did you manage to gather so much of information about Pooja? She was a violent woman and suffered from delusional sense of self-worth and self-importance. Did you visit Jaipur to meet her parents? And once you learned about her, what was your first reaction to it?
उनका नाम है प्रिया, नॉट पूजा. उनका नाम है प्रिया सेठ. और I first came to know about Pria Family in 2018 when the crime was committed. एक वीडियो आया था सोशल मीडिया पे जो एक बहुत ही मशहूर लॉयर जो है या लीगल दीपिका नारायण भारद्वाज जी ने इंटरव्यू ली थी उस समय प्रिया के साथ, और वो इंटरव्यू जो है इंडिया को या पूरे विश्व को एक ग्लिम्प्स दिया into this super criminal and super con woman called Priya Seth, और हम सब चौंक गए. तो तब से मैं कोशिश कर रहा था ये स्टोरी लिखूं मैं, और
What fascinated you saw the interview of Deepika Narayan Bardwaj, you learned about this woman named Priya Seth and her con world. What fascinated you the most?
हाँ, तो दीपिका जी के जो वीडियो है उससे पहले, वो देखने से पहले मुझे पता चल गया था केस के बारे में. तो when the video came, it gave us, all of us, a real feel to see what the criminal was like. और मुझे जो fascinate किया वो है कि ये है औरत जो एक मर्डर कर चुकी है, लेकिन there is no remorse at all in her voice. कोई संकोच नहीं, कुछ नहीं है. She's smiling, laughing and calling it a social service. कि मैंने जो हजारों लोगों को जो मैंने कॉन किया है, that has been a social service because the men
You
were
also
married and
use
they
the
deserve.
social work in your book. You write about that she's conning men and you call it social service.
No, she called it social service. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, yeah,
She
you
calls it,
quote her.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I quoted her. Yes, she calls it social service. तो वो देख के मैं चौंक गया था उस वक्त. और फिर मैंने गुरु भूपेंद्र सिंह जो हैं SHO जोतवाड़ा पुलिस स्टेशन, जिन्होंने एक केस को सॉल्व किया है, तो मैंने उनसे बात शुरू की और मैं जयपुर गया और जयपुर में जाके पूरे टीम से मिले, पुलिस टीम से मिले. और राजस्थान पुलिस जो है really helped me in giving me access to interviews and all of that. So with the help of Bhupendra Singh ji, I gathered all the information and the research from court papers and everything, and then I wrote the book.
And how
So
much
yeah,
time were you there in Rajasthan? How much time did you
I
spend?
I went there multiple times क्योंकि मैं मुंबई में रहता हूँ, तो इट्स नॉट दैट फार अवे, इट्स एन ओवरनाइट जर्नी. तो मैं एटलीस्ट 4-5 बार तो जयपुर गया, रहा वहाँ पे, मिले, जहाँ पे क्राइम हुआ था, जिस एरिया में, लोकेलिटी में क्राइम हुआ था, वहाँ गया. जिस एरिया से उन्होंने सूटकेस खरीदी
Yes.
थी, उधर में गया. जहाँ पे डेड बॉडी मिला था, वहाँ देखने को गया मैंने. सो आई वेंट, रिसर्च्ड ऑल ऑफ दैट, मेट द एंटायर टीम who was there, and of course spent a lot of time with Guru Bhupendra Singh ji, जानने के लिए क्रिमिनल्स के बारे में और इस केस के बारे में.
Again, getting back to your characters, all the characters in your book, be it Priya, Dikshant, or Dushan, they want to do something in their lives. Dushan, so they want to, and they can go to any extent to do that.
Correct.
Lavish life. Dushyant is very bored by his that drab life of his kids' home, being an obedient son. So Tinder becomes a unifying platform of sorts for them. They meet on Tinder and then they sort. You have also worked on several crime shows in the past, written similar books also. So what does
हाँ,
this tell us about the psyche of such people? So can you tell a little about that?
एक एक क्वेश्चन करके हम आंसर करते हैं. आपने 3 क्वेश्चन एक साथ, वो एग्जाम पेपर में नहीं होता है, पार्ट ए,
I will
पार्ट
just
बी,
break it
पार्ट ए, पार्ट बी, पार्ट सी.
then I will break it down now. So
नहीं, मैं
that
समझ
all
गया.
the
तो
characters in the book, they want
हाँ,
something in their life,
करेक्ट.
which is
तो वो,
extraordinary. Yeah.
that's what really fascinated me also about the characters, कि औकात के बाहर, I mean औकात is a very bad word to use, but
Out of their
औकात
reach.
के बाहर, out of their reach, all of them wanted things out of their reach. तो ग्रीक मिथोलॉजी में एक स्टोरी है आइकैरस के बारे में, जो he wanted to fly to the sun, and he made wings which were made out of wax, and he flew, but the heat of the sun melted the wax and he fell to his death. So when you reach for something which is beyond your grasp, you have to pay for it. और यही हुआ. प्रिया जो एक बहुत ही अच्छी स्टूडेंट थी फलना में, बहुत ही अच्छी घर से बिलोंग करती है. she had dreams and aspirations to want more. एक ग्रीड था, एक लालच था उसके अंदर. दुष्यंत जो था, वो भी जयपुर का ही, जयपुर और राजस्थान के रहने वाले. दुष्यंत वांटेड टू बी अ फिल्म स्टार. उनको एक्टिंग में करियर बनाना था. आ गए बॉम्बे, मुंबई में कुछ हुआ नहीं, वो स्ट्रगल करते रहे. और फिर एक प्रोडक्शन किया जो फ्लॉप हो गया, और
Yes.
he owed money to people, so he ran away. He also wanted to be a hero,
Yeah.
and of course Dushyant जो है, he was leading a double life.
Yes.
एकदम बहुत ही संस्कारी बच्चा था,
Obedient
देखने
son,
में।
father,
Absolutely,
husband.
absolutely, absolutely, and it is so tragic और इनएक्सप्लिकेबल। आप एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाओगे कि ये बंदा जो जिसके पास सब कुछ था, loving parents, a loving wife, a child, very happily married, एक existence था, why would he do what he did, lead this double life and all of that. So he also was wanting to reach beyond his grasp, and
Yeah.
that is what makes the story interesting, कि यहाँ पे कोई clearly जो victim जो है वो clear victim नहीं है. Everybody is gray and black in
Yeah.
this story. There is no black or white. And for someone who has written about criminals for the last 6 years and has been studying criminal behavior and stories since last 12 years for Savdhan India and Crime Patrol, I like studying the criminal mind. Or that is how sort of this story grew on me, and I said I have to get into their heads to figure out what made them do what they did.
So we come back to the second question. So what does it tell us about the psyche of these three people? We also see that Priya falls in love with Dikshant, who is also like her. In many ways, he's also like her. He also wants a lavish life. And when Dikshant comes to know about Priya, because she sort of didn't tell him initially about her real identity, and when he comes to know, when it starts unraveling, he accepts her because he thinks that he's getting everything for free. He doesn't have to sort of work hard to get a lavish lifestyle. And then Dushyant, again, as you rightly pointed out, that Dushyant, who also led a sort of a double life, becomes the victim. So, sort of little elaborate on what does it tells us about the psyche of these three people, because you said you wanted to get inside their mind and see why did they do what they did, like why did they.
So it's the greed, ambition, and ego. Um, बचपन से ही प्रिया जो है has been a very pampered child, और एक उनमें एक एंटाइटलमेंट सी फीलिंग भी बस चुके हैं उनके अंदर. तो she likes to be right all the time, and she's used to getting what she wants all the time, right? And when you sort of combine that with her greed and ambition, then it's a deadly combination. और दुष्यंत जब जब उनको पता चलता है कि the kidnapping has gone wrong, one of the reasons why she sort of kills Dushyant is the fact that she was proven wrong, and that is something that she couldn't handle. कि मेरे ही गेम में, मेरे ही बनाए हुए गेम में, मेरे ही रूल्स तोड़ के मुझे ही टोपी पहनाया जा रहा है, and I have been outplayed. How is that possible? And also, of course, the fact that he's a local boy, and they were scared that he will go to the police. But she is used to getting what she wants. और ये उनके दूसरे बॉयफ्रेंड के साथ भी हुआ था, the one he blackmailed and who recorded the conversation. Yeah. Correct. So even that she was outplayed, and that really got her. Now Dikshant जो है, he wanted the good life, और उनको पता था कि प्रिया के कमाई से उनको एक अच्छा खासा लाइफ मिल रहा है जयपुर में, जो खुद वो अपने आप को दे नहीं पाएगा. Correct? Every night they're drinking, they're having good food, they're wearing super expensive clothes and perfumes, and doing drugs, all of that. When Priya meets Dushyant online on Tinder, she tells him that she runs a travel agency.
Yes.
और बाद में जब दुष्यंत को पता चलता है कि प्रिया का मोडस ऑपरेंडाई जो है एक एस्कॉट का है, एक कॉन वुमन का है, he still doesn't leave her. he still sticks on with her, because he knows that मेरे तो औकात ही नहीं है इस टाइप के लाइफ जीने का. So they were very happy, he and his friend Laksh. They were very
Lakshya,
happy living off the income of Priya, and so they were sort of meant for each other. There is no sense of redemption for anybody. They knew exactly what they were doing. So it wasn't even like a crime of passion जहाँ पे heat of the moment कुछ कर दिए.
yeah,
नहीं,
yeah,
this wasn't a crime of passion at all. They knew exactly what they were doing.
yeah. So a little about when I read about that Priya falls in love with Dikshant. So I was thinking a woman who has been conning men, and Gurjar Singh, the one who outwitted her, she sort of threatened with him a false rape case. When that didn't work, she said that I'm going to throw acid on your sister's face. Such a dangerous woman. What and now this dangerous woman becomes weak in front of a man, Dikshant, and she's ready to pay his
आपको
debt
कैसे
also.
पता? आपको कैसे पता कि वो वीक हो गई है? ये तो
Yeah.
एक्टिंग भी हो सकती है. हमें कैसे पता कि वो दीक्षांत को फंसाने का कोशिश नहीं कर रही है?
Because you say that
Was
she's
was
also making.
Dikshant was
Huh.
Dikshant also a probable victim? Was he also a probable victim when they first met? I think so.
Yeah.
I think that when Dikshant first met Priya, he was another target for her. जब प्रिया को पता चला कि भाई ये तो इसके पास तो कुछ है भी नहीं, शायद she took pity on him. And also they thought alike. जब मैं इंस्पेक्टर गुरभूपेंद्र सिंह से मैंने जब पूछा था कि सर आपको क्या क्या लगता है कि शायद ये टारगेट है या सचमुच प्रिया वाज इन लव विथ दीक्षांत, तो सर ने कहा कि दैट्स व्हाट शी टोल्ड, दैट यस आई वाज इन लव विथ हिम बिकॉज वी वर वेरी मच अलाइक. तो ये लव जो है शायद बाद में आया होगा.
Because you're
And they
right,
were,
how she gets herself tattooed, and Dikshant, she tells her sister that she wants to get
yeah.
married to this
So
boy.
then that love story develops. The love story develops, and they at one point of time, she definitely thought of getting married to him. Because both of their minds were, similar. And after that, if this incident would not have happened, maybe they would have got married. But Priya is someone who uses men.
Yeah.
If you from continuously, without giving away too much of the book, she uses men. She's a fantastic manipulator. She is one of the smartest, con women of the country, and cold-blooded.
And cold-blooded. So, talking about your writing, you have
हाँ जी.
incorporated a lot of film dialogues into your writing, such as "Picture तो भी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त," "कानून के हाथ लंबे होते हैं, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है," among others. Was there a particular reason for this choice? Additionally, your reference, again, two questions are there. Additionally, your reference.
कितने मार्क्स मिलेंगे ये बताइए? 5 मार्क्स मिलेंगे कि नहीं?
Additionally,
हाँ.
because what I found interesting is that the incorporation of film dialogues, and additionally you reference Mary Howitt's poem "The Spider and the Fly," and while you're describing the kidnapping, and you're at the same time writing narrating the
मजा आया
whole.
कि नहीं? आपको
Yeah,
मजा
yeah,
आया
yeah,
कि नहीं?
yeah,
तो
exactly.
इसीलिए
That's
लिखा
why.
है. तो
So
इसीलिए लिखा है.
could you tell me a bit about the process of writing this book and how long it took you to complete it?
See, writing for me is a very spiritual experience, and whether I write about dead bodies, crime, or whether I'm writing a love story. I mean, the thing is, when I sit to write, I put myself in the place of my reader. क्या उनको मजा आ रहा है पढ़ के? क्या उनको मजा आएगा ये पढ़ के? That is my first filter, and of course being truthful to my source material and all of that. But I try and write it in an entertaining way. मेरे जो मेरा जो पहला किताब है द डेडली डजन, इंडियाज मोस्ट नोटोरियस सीरियल किलर्स, जो बेस्ट सेलर हो चुका है, even that is a very entertaining book, though it is a very dark subject matter. And each story has its own flavor. So Auto Shankar, which is set in Chennai, has the flavor of a nice Tamil pulp fiction movie. It's got that masala wala flavor. Similarly, this story also, because it's a young story, I wanted it to be a little flamboyant. I wanted cultural references to be there. Reader को तो अच्छा लगता है, when we talk about film dialogues or film references or film scenes. जैसे मेरे my second book with Penguin, which is a true crime book called India's Money Heist, right? This is about the biggest bank robbery of India. और इनका जो 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 क्रिमिनल है, क्रिमिनल का नाम है बाबू. एंड देन मैं जब लिख रहा था तब मैं सोचा बाबू बाबू कैसे मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करूं बाबू को और क्या कनेक्शन लाऊं मैं. तब मुझे याद आया कि बहुत साल पहले एक मैंने फिल्म देखा था, सत्ते पे सत्ता, अमिताभ बच्चन. आई डोंट थिंक you've seen it. Okay. So he plays a double role in that. In the second half, there's a criminal called Babu who comes into the film in the second half, just before I think the interval. Similarly, ये structure जो था India's Money Heist, second half के just interval point के पहले ही मैं बाबू को introduce करता हूँ, and then I build the reference of Satya Pe Satta's Babu and this Babu entering just before interval. So I enjoy doing that. क्योंकि the reader gets sorry,
also helps you to connect with the reader is what I was saying.
Absolutely, उनको मजा आता है क्योंकि जो भी ये किताब पढ़ा होगा India's Money Heist, I know 90% of them would have gone to YouTube and looked at Babu's entry scene in Satya Pe Satta. I know it for sure. So I like doing that. As for writing, different books take different lengths of time. जैसे India's Money Heist took me about 2 years to write. Swipe Right to Kill took me about a year to write. 1 year of going back and forth to Jaipur, traveling, coming back, all of that. तो वो 1 साल लग गया.
So did you write it in parts or you just sat down one day and wrote it in one go?
No, you can't write books in one go.
Like in the sense you stayed in your room for months and then...
No. वैसे वो बहुत ही रोमांटिक नोशंस होते हैं यार लोगों के दिमाग में कि राइटर जो है वो आइसोलेट होके बहुत करते हैं, बहुत लोग करते हैं, मैं नहीं करता हूँ क्योंकि राइटिंग as a profession doesn't pay. So let's be clear, in that. So I have to have a day job. So so I work during the day and I write during the night. Or
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple, right? I am not. I wish I was a Chetan Bhagat. I definitely wish my book sold as many as Chetan Bhagat or a Devdutt Patnaik or an Amish or my Gurudev, which is Amitabh Ghosh. I wish someday it will happen. But at the moment, no, I sell a decent amount of books. Couple of them are national bestsellers. So I mean, I'm happy with that. But it doesn't pay to run the entire household. So I work during the day और मैं वो तब टीवी का काम करता रहता हूँ, जैसे प्रोड्यूसर था, सावधान इंडिया, क्राइम पेट्रोल, फियर फाइल्स, इश्क किल्स, वो सब करता रहता हूँ. और रात को मैं लिखता हूँ. रात में मेरा एक फिक्स टाइम है, 11 बजे रात से 3 बजे तक. That's my time. I sit and write at that point of time. तो वैसे मैं एक रेजिमेंट फॉलो करने का कोशिश करता हूँ. So that every day I'm sitting and trying to write at least.
Now coming back to your book, in your book, when the truth about Dushyant is revealed to Priya, Dikshant and Lakshya, you shift the story to Meenakshi Thapar, a struggling actress who boasted about her family's wealth and was eventually kidnapped and killed. You yourself also said that you have created and produced Savdhan India, Fear Files, Ishq Kills. You mentioned in your book that you have 12 years of experience studying criminals. Could you shed some light on this urge to kill people when they are no longer useful. Because Dushant was no longer useful to Priya and Dikshant. After they got to know his real identity, he could not get them money. While there was this local attribute to him that he's local, and he has outwitted her. But this, because killing is not a small thing. So what is this urge to kill people and not being so fearless and not remorseful about it?
So why they killed people is one is yes, they become useless to them. They have no other purpose. Two is also they are the only link to the crime. हर क्रिमिनल जो है वो सोचता है कि he or she can get away, right? वो सोचते हैं कि भैया कोई मुझे पकड़ नहीं सकता, and they do what they do. They rob, they steal, they kill, they do sexual assaults, and they think they can get away with it, but it doesn't happen like that. और इसी केस में जैसे मीनाक्षी थापा वाले केस जो है, I deliberately took it because it was a similar case. It was a very similar case that had happened a few years ago in 2012 when it had happened. So I wanted the comparison to be there. Also, I like to take my readers on a journey. If you read my previous books, I just don't tell you one story. I will tell you 6 stories within that one story, and I will make the connections and I'll tell you. So we will go on an adventure together. We will go on a trip. हम कभी जयपुर में होंगे, तो कभी नेपाल में होंगे, तो कभी कलकत्ता चले जाएंगे कुछ देर के लिए, वापस आएंगे जयपुर. तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि रीडर्स, बचपन में जब छोटे थे, तो पापा की जो उंगली पकड़ के हम चलते थे कहीं पे भी. We used to always hold this little finger and walk. So I put my finger out and the readers hopefully grab onto it, and then I take them around and then get them safely back to the original plot. So I like taking my readers on a journey. So that's why I do that. And the urge to kill is because they think they can get away, and they think that यही एक proof है, last एक existing proof है जिसको हम मिटा सकते हैं. And they do it. A lot of them, of course, don't have remorse at all while doing it, or hesitation. And even in this case of Priya Dikshant, the way they brutally killed, Dushyant.
We can say they're not normal human beings in the sense this is a very abnormal sort of life that Priya lived.
Don't justify it or don't bracket it by making it abnormal. ये इनको पता था वो क्या कर रहे हैं. Abnormal रामन राघव है जो serial killer है. He was abnormal. He was psychotic. These people knew what they were doing. So as soon as क्या होता है ना कि एक abnormal है, पागल है, insanity है, ये बोल के हम उनके जो actions के responsibility और accountability है वो हम lessen कर देते हैं. Because a lot of the criminals plea innocence on the grounds of insanity.
Yeah, correct.
How do we know? So therefore, they have to go through a lot of tests and everything. So these people were very, very normal people. They were ambitious and they were greedy, and they have no sense of. They are selfish. स्वार्थ है, बहुत ही.
Another thing I found very fascinating about Priya, that she was caught several times in the past by the police, and she always used to think that I have this woman card working for me. I'm going to. So tell a little about that also. And still, after being caught several times in the past, still she didn't fear. Like, she was a fearless woman.
Correct. She kept doing things because it was greed that was driving her. राइट. पैसे के चक्कर में वो अपने जो दिशा थी वो खो गए. शी हैड कम टू स्टडी इन जयपुर. अगर वो कोटा चली जाती तो शायद शी वुड हैव स्टक टू हर स्टडीज. जयपुर जैसे खुले वो एक
Hmm.
a bull in a
Glitz and
china shop.
glamour. Yeah.
हाँ एकदम ग्लिट्स एंड ग्लैमर में वो खो गई. और you know that's the way it was, with her. She was completely lost, and she kept doing crimes one after the other, thinking again she can get away, which she did multiple times. जब
Hmm.
पकड़ी गई तो बोलता, अरे मैं बेचारी हूँ, मैं तो कॉलेज की लड़की हूँ, देखो ये बंदा ने मुझे फंसाया है,
Hmm.
एटीएम
Hmm.
ब्रेक करना मेरा प्लान नहीं था, ये all
Hmm.
of that.
And she
So
also tries
you
to
feel,
rob it. Yeah. ATM
so
co.
so a lot of she played, the woman card very very well. In fact, Deepika ji jo hai, she works for, she works to expose
Yeah,
women
I know.
who use the law, and hats off to her for doing the interview, which
And did
really
you get a
exposed
chance
her.
to meet, did you get a chance to meet Priya or her family members?
No, so Priya was, when the last time I went to Jaipur was in November before Diwali, and at that point of time they were awaiting the final verdict. So she was out of bounds. All three of them were out of bounds for, uh, for anybody to meet. And even if I would have met them, they would have told me the same story. That they were innocent, right?
Yeah.
A criminal will keep telling you the same story. Even if they have blood on their hands, they will say, "ये तो होली का गुलाल है." You
But
know.
what about her family, parents? Her
No,
father was a.
they didn't want to. I tried reaching them, but I I couldn't get through to them. Also, you must understand that they come from a very middle class family,
Yes, that's why.
and they were very very disappointed. I didn't want to bring them back into the limelight. They have suffered enough. You know, he's a school teacher. The father is a school teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
And that family has suffered a lot. All the families, and it's not just Dushyant's family which has suffered. Of
Yeah, I
course,
was
they have.
coming to that. Yeah,
Dushyant's father uh, lost all his three sons, and that
yeah,
is a tragedy. And but even like Lakshya's mother is a
yeah,
single mother. She's devastated, thinking, "Ab kya hoga?"
yeah.
She was relying on Laksh, making a living and supporting her and all of that. So
Dushyant's wife, Bittu, you know.
yeah, Bittu still can't come to terms with what has happened,
Hmm.
because Dushyant projected such a lovely image in the house,
Yeah.
and hid his second life so well. Bittu was completely, even till date, she's completely disillusioned, and she can't come to terms with it, of
You've
what
also
has happened.
relied on several newspapers, Dainik Bhaskar, Hindustan Times, to tell the story.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so how much research it took? Because I think it must have took you a lot of time, lot of sort of research of.
So those were there to sort of corroborate some of the reports, but mainly my research was with the police team, first hand, uh, you know, um, experiences, confessions, court papers, all of that. Research, any kind of research takes time.
Can you
Um,
tell
you
me
know,
about some anecdotes with the police? You spent time with police. What were they telling you? Like when they cracked this case, what was their instinct? How were, was it first of its kind, one of its kind case, or they have seen several other such
so
similar
when
cases?
so when Guru Bhupendra ji was on the case, um, and I asked him, I said, as a parent, what did you feel? क्योंकि हम parents जो हैं, we feel so uh, scared for our children. In what kind of a world are we sort of bringing them in? And Guru Bhupendra Singh ji कहा कि when the father came to identify the body at the morgue and saw the body, and broke down, and, uh, Guru Bhupendra Singh ji had tears in his eyes, and because he himself, he says कि ऐसे scenes, you can't control your emotions. Yes, we are police. Yes, we are supposed to be. People think we are used to seeing, cases like this every day, but there are cases that really touch you. And he said, of course, nam ho gaye the. I was completely shocked and sad seeing this. And he sort of vowed to crack the case as soon as possible. तो उस समय जब वो केस सॉल्व हो रहा था तो उन लोग को पता नहीं था कि there is so much to this girl called Priya. At that point of time, they were just looking for a kidnapping case.
Yeah.
जब जब पकड़े गए, जब अरेस्ट हो गए तीनों, तब the major खुलासा started. That is when everybody realized, oh my God, this woman is something else. So that's the way it was.
So tell a little about yourself. Ki you have been covering crime in terms of Savdhan India for last 12 years. You are doing this. तो पहली दफा कैसे आपको लगा कि I should do this? Crime is what I want to cover. Crime is, like in journalism we say it's my beat. So when was that?
You read books, and you read books when you were a child?
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of books did you read as a child? Tell me. Like your favorite books and authors?
Comic books, not much.
Okay. Did you read Enid Blyton?
No,
Secret 7, Famous 5, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew?
Hardy Boys, yes.
Hardy Boys पढ़ा आपने? अच्छा, फिर डिटेक्टिव बुक्स पढ़े आपने?
No, I was always far away from detective, horror and all of that, and still.
तो ये जो है किताबें जो हैं, जैसे फेमस 5 है, सीक्रेट 7 है, हार्डी बॉयज है, वो सब क्राइम है. नॉडी सीरीज याद है ना? नॉडी. हाँ, नॉडी का गाड़ी चोरी हो जाता है. किसी ने नॉडी का गाड़ी चोरी करता है. व्हाट इज द स्टोरी? इट इज अ क्राइम स्टोरी, है ना? फिर पुलिस के पास जाता है नॉडी, पुलिस हेल्प्स नॉडी टू गेट द कार बैक. इट इज अ क्राइम स्टोरी. तो बचपन से ही वी आर सराउंडेड बाय क्राइम. सो एंड वी लाइक क्राइम स्टोरीज क्योंकि इट इज अ फॉरबिडन वर्ल्ड. हमें कुछ नए देखने को मिलता है, सीखने को मिलता है. सो दैट इज व्हेन आई डिसाइडेड that I would want to write and sort of do reporting on crime.
So my last question to you is that in your Savdhan India show, there is always a lesson attached to the crime story. In every episode, altering viewers to look out for criminals and criminal behavior and keep themselves safe from harm. What is your lesson from this case on which you have written a book?
Don't trust what you see on social media or online. और इसीलिए आपने किताब तो पढ़े हैं. End of the book, you will see that I have given all information about how to, what signs to look out for. Online अगर आप dating कर रहे हैं तो क्या आपको दिखनी चाहिए, सीखनी चाहिए. If you fall into a trap, what are the helpline numbers? Everything I've given. Because online world is a very dangerous world. और अब AI भी आ चुका है. अभी AI में पता नहीं चलता है कि सच क्या है और झूठ क्या है. इतना पॉलिश तरीके से वीडियोस बन रहे हैं. और today I will go to an AI and I will say read my book in the voice of Brad Pitt. तो वो कर देगा. और पब्लिक को लगेगा अरे ब्रैड पिट ने अनिर्बान का किताब पढ़ा है, वाह 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 वाह. But that's the level of AI, and we never know what is truth. So we have to be careful. We have to guard ourselves at all times. So that is the big lesson from this book.
Lovely. It was a lovely book, and I will recommend everyone to buy this book. It's a lovely read. Thank you, Anirban. Thank you. It was a lovely chat with you.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless.